Okay, very good afternoon here on the 6th of October 2019. It's Rishi Patel, co-founder, Master of the Markets, the Elite Traders Conference, and the Traders Open Day. Welcome to the market update this week on Friday the 6th of December. As you know, we do a market update every week. We haven't had the opportunity to do that for the past 2 weeks, just because we have been very snowed under with some projects that we're undertaking here at Master of the Markets to do with upgrades of our strategies. So we're back on top of our market updates, and we'll get another one in next week as well. So by way of the market update here on the trading rooms, we'll have a look at there's two key strategies that signaled trade opportunities for us today. One was the Liftoff 3.0. It signaled an opportunity last week but closed out this week, and also the GB Elite, which was a trade opportunity on the dollar Swiss franc, which signaled an opportunity 2 days ago, and has just exited today as well within the last few hours. So we'll have a look at both of those two opportunities that we took, starting with the Liftoff 3.0, which was on the dollar Japanese yen. So this particular opportunity was actually something that we were looking at by way of a Liftoff opportunity, and it actually signaled the trade to come into the market actually just at this price level here. So we were in on the opportunity at that price level just there. Our initial stop was on the low of this bar, then that was quickly moved up. And we actually, the last trail that we actually had was, I believe it was actually at the low of this bar just here. So we actually locked in a small profit on that dollar Japanese yen before the market did move against us. So that was the Liftoff 3.0. That yielded a profit of 0.2%. And the only other opportunity that we've taken this week, which has triggered for us, has been this dollar Swiss franc just here, where we were looking at this as a first PSWB. That has actually stopped us out of the market, taking the loss for the 1%, giving us net overall for this week of minus 0.8%. So that is where we've got to this week, as per the trading opportunities. Now let's look at the other markets across the different currencies. We could have a look at Bitcoin as well as some of the indices. Euro US dollar, you can see again here, it could be the start of a larger, longer term upward move. If we switch to a higher time frame like the weekly, you'll see that again here, these swing lows are starting to come a little bit closer together, and that signals a decline in momentum. So what we could be seeing here is potentially the start of a longer term upward move on this euro dollar, and that could be why we're getting a little bit of volatility actually around this region at the moment. So be on the lookout for that as potential. Dollar Swiss franc, again, a lot of volatility, a lot of sideways movement. You can see there's a lot of accumulation in the market taking place, especially in this higher time frame. This year itself has been quite challenging in the sense that if you look at 2019, I mean, you've traded within just this range here. Even 2018 as well, you also traded within sort of this kind of a range. This is actually a bigger range here in 2018. This was a more profitable year. And one thing that you can see from the strategies is that we do need market movement to gain profitability. So if we're engaged in a choppy market like this, it is much harder to make a return. But the key thing to understand is the market can't do that forever. And what we absolutely will see at some stage is the market starting to trend again, and that's when we'll see potential longer term opportunities. Pound dollar has broken out of a single market compression variation 3 here and has pushed up to the upside. 131.50 we reached on that, and I imagine there may be some more upside on this in the next coming months. Dollar Japanese yen, again, a lot of sideways movement this year. Again, not trading within a very large range. We haven't had much movement this year. This has been the year of a squeeze, of a compression. So you can see that this is mapping out actually the entire year's range just in this section just here, as opposed to sort of previous years. There you can see 16, there you can see 17, and again there you can see 18. So you've had a larger move and a more systematic move in previous years, but this year has been a little bit more challenging just in that sense there. So it's something that's universally happening across most markets at the moment, and that represents a period of indecision, which is normally followed by a much larger ranging market. So let's continue to watch and monitor that one just there. Dow Jones pushing up. This is the 6th primary on the Dow Jones, which is very, very interesting. We haven't seen this combination before where there's 6 failed primaries in a phase. So we are continuing to monitor that. There could be some potential opportunities on that just there. Let's take a look at some of the other world markets as well. Okay, so let's take a look at the FTSE 100. Here you can see, let's take a look at what we've got. Again, so much of a compression phase really happening here in the FTSE 100 market. Not really too much going on here at all. And you can see that we are basically in a compression phase once again. Here's the range for the year. Again, we've had some range this year, but take a look at that. It's really in an indecision phase, and actually, to be honest, has been for quite a period of time now as well. If you look even on a longer term time frame like the weekly, we'll be able to see just here. You can see that this market really for the past several years has really been very indecisive and not really trending as much as we would like to see on our trend-based strategies. So here, Brent weekly, again, a lot of indecision this year as well. I mean, nothing really new there. Again, this is the whole year that's compressed into this section just here. In previous years, you can see you've got much cleaner phases and upward and downward moves, but this year again has been more difficult with the commodities too. Bitcoin is continuing to push lower. I have spotted a gap. I imagine that this will come back down to around about the $5,500 to $6,000 mark, to be honest, and that's basically, I believe it's going to want to close some smaller gaps out that have occurred in the market over that time. So we will continue to watch out for that. It looks like some of those gaps have closed out here actually. Where did we get to in terms of a low on Bitcoin? It's down all the way to 6,500, which doesn't really surprise me. There's a lot of again, indecision in this market, but I do believe that this will be a longer term buy if it's something you're looking to invest into. I think Bitcoin is here to stay, so it's just about finding a ripe entry opportunity at this time. I think there's a little more downside here before we see the upside. Okay, good. Having said that, I want to go on to the topic of the week, which is the Smart Money Indicator Elite. And the Smart Money Indicator Elite is something that we have been monitoring, and it's something that we use in the Elite Room as well as the Elite clients. If you're doing Elite coaching with us, Elite one-to-one coaching, you will have access to the Smart Money Indicator Elite indicator. And what this actually tells you is not only where the most recent swing high and swing low actually is, but it also tells you when the chart became a swing high and swing low. And a lot of time people ask me about what these dots are. And the dots are actually quite important because they give you an additional key piece of information which you only really need if you're in the Elite team or if you are backtesting Elite strategies in Elite coaching with either myself or Tiru. You'll only really need to basically take that on. So these dots are basically telling us where this became a swing low. So you can see that on the close of this bar, this actually became swing low at that point in time. And so what happens is the dot and the arrow actually appear at exactly the same time. It's not that you get the arrow appearing first and then several days later the dot appears. No, what happens is that when the dot appears, the arrow appears. So these are done in parallel actually. And as a result of that, this indicator basically helps us to test the market historically. So for us to spot things like first interruptions in the Elite Room, for us to spot opportunities such as lift-off opportunities or money bars opportunities in the live trading room. And that's a very important aspect of what we're doing in terms of a daily analysis. So it's good to understand that just there. So we'll take it from there. We'll continue to look out for that. So do observe these in the live trading room when you do join our analysis, and you can start to see where the swing is confirming. And it's only after that point that we actually look for an actual opportunity. That's pretty much it from me in terms of the market analysis this week. Look forward to speaking to you all soon. Till the next time, stay disciplined, follow your trading plan, and keep trading like a master. Bye for now.